All right, I'm just going to dive in. Watchers, there may not be a big deal. So, I get stuck in. And step one. All right, so we're doing a few things. First of all, I almost never use the muck slicer. Part of the reason is because, hey, Jason, what's happening, man? Yeah, we're pulling the muck slicer. I did have a simple realization. I'm a simple man who really wants gigantic, cosmic, titanic reasons. And I was like, should I get a beads? Like, well, let's try something first. Yeah, early stream. I kind of played hooky today. Not really. I had a doctor's appointment earlier today. As a med check, one of those things. Like, hey, this is your cost of admission to taking thyroid medication prescription. Like, literally, my levels, my blood levels, blah blah blah, haven't changed since 1999. But no, I still have to get my blood tested every 6 months. It's like, no, fuck you. Anyways, digress. Yeah, so the way my school district works is if you are going to be gone, it's like 11 o'clock is the cutoff. So if you're gone like up to that time, then you can take a half day. And my appointment was at 10. So I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be back in time to actually only be able to take a half day, because I would rather not take a day off. It's always better to actually be with my students, as much as some days I really don't want to be. So I took a whole day off. I got done with my doctor's appointment at 10:30. I'm like, what? How? Why are you fast? You are never fast. So, can I do it? Can I pull it from here? I don't think I can. Nope. Fuck. Okay, what's an easy... We're gonna have to just hang that guy there for a second, because otherwise everything here needs to be moved. So, the R-bar is going here. I gotta move everything anyway, so that's not a big... and then we're gonna put clouds. The parasite firmware on clouds. I'm gonna throw clouds in here too, and I'm gonna try using that as a reverb in conjunction with the Aurora, as well as by itself. And well, if that works, then I'll look into beads and possibly picking up one of them. Jesus, this is a long... Where the fuck is it even plugged in? Okay, well, get Jeep. Come on. Gotcha. Come out, you little... Come on. You got it. All right. Where was I? Yeah, I was doing this. Fuck. All right. I have to pull more screws. Yeah, it's just it's a goofy way of doing business, and I've had principals in the past that were like, "Oh, you need to be gone for an hour? Cool, we'll just find somebody to cover your class." And for some weird reason, like, that seems to me to be the most human and logical way of dealing with something like that. But no. Oh, you gotta take a whole day off for a 30-minute doctor's appointment. Okay. And that's all fine and dandy. I've got sick days to spare, right? We get 10 a year. I've been accumulating. I don't know. I got 150 of them saved up or something like that. So, like, but the problem is that my district doesn't pay shit for subs, right? So you try to get a sub, and there ain't any. But he takes your job. It's like, why would they bother? Why they could go to a different school in the same city, like the high school districts in our same city, and make twice as much. Like, literally twice as much. I'm like, well, why would they go? Why would they go here? What are you, how are you making this appealing at all to prospective, workers? And it's really, really dumb. And then, I'll probably get something from my principal that's like, please let us know as early as you can. And I did. So, I didn't put in the request until about 8:30 p.m. But I had a concert last night and voicemail. It's all very stupid. So, anyways, the hope here. And the cool thing I noticed is that Beads is only 14 HP and Clouds is 18. So even just by upgrading it to Beads, I think it'll good thing. So that space right there should hold the R bar. Good. Theoretically. So we'll find out. Don't let the sliding nuts dissuade you. It's our fine. Sliding nuts. More than I like Z-Rails. Make me a communist. Maybe. Tighten those. Hey, shut up. Problem with Z-Rails, that not every module is made same exacting standard that Z-Rails need. So if you put in Z-Rails, if you put a screw hole every 1 HP, then like theoretically, oh, perfect, everything will work. Except if your module is not made perfectly, then you get screws going in at weird funky angles and shit and cross-threading and, screwing them up, and you're locked into that. Sliding nuts, slide the nut, they're in. You're done. It's very, very easy. So, thus ends that debate forever. Sliding nuts are better. Very happy I bought this little screwdriver. I know I've mentioned it before. It's just a nice little, happy little tool right here. Arb har. Ribbon cable. Cable de ribbon. Cable of ribbon. Ribbon cables. Cable of ribboning. And I actually went on modular grid and planned this whole move out. Actually, you pretty much have to for this. Like, I wasn't just gonna guess. Just talking some relatively tight tolerances here on some of these things, and I had to make sure. Like I said, I think I have one HP left over in that space right there. But it does work there. It does fit there. And then also it makes sense because I'm going to move my low-pass gate over next to the rest of the filters and stuff. Which, that's just logic. Should be with its friends. Taking it away from its family. What the hell is wrong with you, bastard? Won't someone please think of the low-pass gates? Yeah. I was like, this is going to take a while. And actually, it kind of might not. It's not straight. How come that's not straight? Bro, you ain't straight. I even thought about putting the this little add-on strip like in a... Oh, that's one of the reasons. This is all shifted over, screwed. Thought about putting the little riser module extra guy, because it's really loose. And when you start plugging cables into it, and you're like, okay, put my fingers here. That's what she said. There, yeah, there. A couple of them. Bing, bing, bing. Nope, just kidding. There's just screwing it into nothingness. Very good job with the screwing it into nothingness. Hello? Alright, what the hell is going on? What is this shit? There we go. People who don't like sliding nuts would point to that right there. Like, see? This is why you shouldn't use sliding nuts, because they're stupid. Yeah, well, you're stupid. Face is stupid. So they're kind of stupid. All right, there's too many nuts right there. Too many nuts. Too many nuts. Chunk. Come on. Get it in the hole. She said. It's one of my most, like, favorite, stupid, hilarious things about teaching middle. When students use "that's what she said" jokes. And they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. It's 12, 13. And it's fucking hilarious. And I can just look at of like, oh, there's one. One little spot right there. All right. Dude, it's just so funny. I have a... Not gonna go. It's just the weird shit that has occurred in school during my... It's pretty hilarious. We had a shit wiper. It's some random person who would wipe shit all over the walls of the bathroom. And they never caught him. 3 years. Just every once in a while, every month or two, just a random incident. Well, got to keep track of everybody and see who's going to the bathroom, who's leaving, who's coming, who's going. Never caught him. I often wonder about that. Who was that? And more to the point, did anybody shake hands with him? All right. Jack expander over. Which is probably a good place for it anyway. So there's that. So you can there. Kick some more nuts over there. Kick some more nuts. You're getting kicked. That's no laughing matter. Then. So it's all that. Okay. This guy got clouds. Look at all this space we got. We got space. Space for days. So yeah, thinking about getting the beads, and then I was thinking about getting a few other things. I was thinking about ditching a couple of things in here and replacing them. Like ditching the ensemble oscillator, putting it in the small case, and getting the what's the Instru 01? Was it the Crew-In or something like that? That might not be right. Whichever the one is that has the newer oscillator, which has like 4 different like super saw outputs. It kind of looks. It reminds me a little bit architecturally wise of Chainsaw, but it's a lot more featured. God, look at this cavernous gulf right in the center. It's cavernous, very, very gulf-like. 2 more. Oh shit! I need some more Gnurlies. I gotta find my workbox. I've got just a random box from. What did I get in it? I think it was actually this Clouds. One of the first modules I ever bought was a Clouds module used from a buddy of mine. And he had some kind of weird firmware on it. It was like impossible to use for anything. Never get a decent sound out of it. Okay? Clearly I'm missing something. Dude, I'm also, you know what I'm gonna do first of all? I'm gonna probably order the what is it? The Entropy Labs Infinite Recursion thing. This that video. There's a video synth that was at NobCon. Is that what it is? Positronic Recursion Studio. That's it. Yeah. And I kind of really want one from that. You know, talked to the dude for a while at NobCon, actually. I was very impressed. To get a longer power cable. This guy. Maybe. Oh, never mind. There's like 3 sockets open right there. Yeah, except this wouldn't be really. It wouldn't. This would be a good starter brain if you wanted to expand it into a system, but it also works really good as a standalone, and it's all digital, and it actually has like. The fuck is this weird ass Gnurly? That's not a Gnurly. This came with the Popple. That's right. I had 4 of those, and I was like, these are nice little thumb screws. Don't like wreck your fingers nearly. I wish I had. Yeah. So it is a standalone unit. It has 8 CV ins, I believe, including like a couple of USB ports and stuff. So you can actually just plug cameras directly into it. Any class compliant MIDI controller you can put into it. So, and then it just like puts out HDMI, like puts out 30 frames, 1080p, you know, like nice, happy, smooth video. It basically looks like Milk Drop, except better. And Yeah, they have pre-orders right now. He said it's shipping fourth quarter of this year. It's like $1,200. I'm like, well, okay. I was looking at video systems, and I have been for a while. And I think the minimal cost of entry on a decent like LZX system or something like that is probably $2,000 at least. And then most of that shit is using like composite video. It's using like 480 pixels. It's not even like digital. It's all analog outs. And I have a couple of small projectors at Coin. I should read the thing. At home. And imagine a cool positronic recursion studio going through a small projector. No, yeah, that's just it. And compared to the features that are in it and stuff like that, I was like, yeah. And then I had this nutty idea of buying another case, getting one that's like 180 HP or 160 HP. Like, same thing, just make it wider. And then put everything in this into the new one, and have room to spare, but then have another case sitting ready to start loading up. And that's fucking dangerous. Because if you have a giant case sitting there looking at you going, "Fill me," then you're going to. Ooh, that was an angry snap. I didn't like that noise. I didn't like it one bit. No, sir. I don't like it. Okay, let's set up something kind of quick, and I can actually sort of vaguely show off at least a little bit of why clouds is fucking dope. The Parasites firmware. I really don't like that giant hole in here either. But I think this is 4 HP. So there's a lot of stuff that you can put in there for 4 HP. There's a lot, right? Like you can, I keep thinking about getting a small mixer, and it would be kind of cool to have like a mixer slash attenuverter module, some little happy little utility thing right there. That would be pretty cool. Let's do something here. Let's do a thing. I also wanted to fuck with the jacks. The jack expander outs, because they have trigger outs, and well, trigger outs are fun. Oh my good, did I turn off the Model D, or has it been on a week? Going, hello? Is anybody home? Shift. Each bank, you silly bastard. Erase. No spray. No intensity. Small size. He set the R bar so it looks. What to do? Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the. Oh. Give me the clock output. Okay. Which one is it? Is it number 4? I think it's number. Yeah, that's the one. So this little multiple right here, and there's 4 or 3. I mean, there's sort of 3 sets, and then they cascade. So one clock is going into the top of this buffered mult, and that's filling up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different outputs, of which 3 are taken up. This clock is a quarter note clock, so it's getting driven to the melodizer from there. Just like FYI, if you're wondering what all these black cables are, my black cables are the clock signals. So clock signal going to marbles, hanging out there. Used to be going to the muck slicer, but the muck slicer, disappointing. Anyways, here's what I wanted to do. All right, and I haven't done this, and I'm literally going to have to read it. Glad I left it. So what I want to do is turn the barred quartet into 4 channels of arpeggiator. So, you know, you just send it a trigger. It's super cool. You give it a trigger, and it does the thing. Down. Pendulum. Oh, that's what that button is. Silly. Octave spread. 0, 1, 2, 3. It's 3. Okay, so it's what? 1 octave, 2 octave, 3 octave. Kind of thing. Pressing the arpeggiator. So if we go arpeggiator button, so, and go this, all 4 channels. Oh, I see. No, this is just the arpeggiator options. So 3 octaves, up? No, I want random. So random is the bottom one. There we go. 3 octaves, there's that guy, and that. So now everything should be set to a C minor arpeggio, which is kind of cool. So here's the thing, right? I have these jack expanders, and you can go in and set them to, like, hey, what does each one do? CV outs 1 and 2, yada, 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 jack expander triggers. So triggers are like 32nd, 16th, dotted 16th, 8th notes, and so on. So you can put these at, like, whatever. So we can have 8th note triplets. We can have, let's see, how about like a 16th, dotted 16th? Yeah, there's a couple of those. So instead of 8th note, quarter note triplet, yeah, we could do that. So we'll just use 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. Go into the duacky here. So 1, 2, Francisco, shaken. A 3, a 4. So again, I'm just triggering the arpeggiators. That's it, and these can go like wherever. A couple of them are going to definitely go into chainsaw, and then a couple of them are definitely piston oscillator. I want to experiment with this. I could not really get FM to work the other day, and I was a little bit miffed, and I'm like, how the fuck? Like, what am I missing? What am I doing wrong? Or is this thing just busted? Like, I don't know. It should just work. You put a thing in, and there should be FM. And it was not FMing at all. So, I'm baffled to play around with that for a while. And I need to reset my mixer because right now, shit's all over the place. So, take a stereo out from the chainsaw. There it is. All right, this is number 2. All right. Fine and dandy like sour candy and all that. So, clouds. I'm just going to go direct in. Throw some clouds on top of this. Now, one thing I kind of almost dislike about clouds is the multifunction nature of the LEDs on here. Every time you turn something, all of a sudden the lights turn, change colors, and you're like, wait, what the fuck? All right, so right now it's set on reverb. Little dirty there. So, this is my question. Last time I tried putting a reverb after the Aurora, and it was a lame reverb. It was a super lame reverb. It was the 2 HP reverb, which is like marginally acceptable as far as reverbs go. It's nothing awesome. I like it for rooms. I like just a little bit of room presence. That's a nice use for it. Okay. Now the other thing we could do is like duplicate the triggers here to that way, you know, I don't have to have like a hopscotch cable or anything like that. If I want to actually use these triggers for something else, I'm going to duplicate the second row so that the same thing. So I have a dotted 16th note, quarter note triplet, and an eighth note. But let's also rig up the other two outputs somehow. It's cascade of cable death. Before I do that, though, I do want to make sure that the Weston is actually in tune. This whole thing. Just gonna go straight up. Just gonna go this happy sawtooth here. Sounds good. So what I'm guessing is, number one, this envelope in is actually a VCA controlling the amount. Now it's working. But if I took one of these trigger outs, alright, first of all, let's do this. Full per octave. Okay, that's madness. I love it. I'm gonna grab the 16th note out. And I'm just going to throw it into this little ADSR right here. And then the output of that goes to the envelope here. There we go. Okay, anyways. So yeah, the envelope by itself doesn't do anything. You also have to have it, like, patched in some way and have an actual FM input. That makes sense. Okay. You get a stereo filter, and you get a stereo filter, and you get a stereo filter. I think I need another stereo filter in here, by the way. I'm still looking for a replacement for the red filter. This is a state variable VCF. It's got a low pass 18 and 12, and it's got a band pass and a high pass. The thing is, it's got 3 CV ins with level controls, and it has 2 inputs with level controls. Those are features that you don't really find that often, and it's unfortunate that it's so fucking gigantic. I mean, it's not as big as the Mankato, and I wish that had levels for the signal inputs, because when you throw, like, you throw a sub into it, and all of a sudden you've got, like, weird phase conflicts and stuff because the levels are exactly the same. They're coming from the same oscillator and so on and so forth. It could be kind of nice to be able to offset that to some extent. Okay. So this is this guy, and then we're going to throw one of those triggers to an envelope. Actually, we should probably use 2 triggers. Blue traces. Those are these 2. Those 2 right here. Yeah, this is an experimental patch. Gosh, some people. Wait a minute. No. I don't need 2 envelopes for that. I really just need the 1. Oh, see, this isn't gonna work that well. At least not in a stereo filter. I just have to run it through multiple other filters. Which, that's fine. That works. Okay. So, this filter, you get FM. This guy, you get CV also. Congratulations on your CV. need one nice blank voice here. Okay. This is just the Aurora. So the thing is, the Aurora is really not a reverb. I mean, it is, but it isn't. It's an FFT. It's a fast Fourier transform. Fourier. Okay? So you have pitch shifting effects and things like that. Okay, so there's that. And then we throw the clouds on top of it. Why are you being a jerk? That's a lot. Okay, now what about just the clouds? So here's just clouds. It's really cool, like room ambience. So then the two of them. I think it's going to be a tricky balancing act, to say the least. So, yeah, I just don't know. Like, that's not really a Titanic giant reverb. It's really not. It's cool. It is what it is, right? It's like it's not what I thought. It's something different. So I'm kind of back to square one in my quest. Like, I sort of had it with a tip-top audio. I had giant Titanic reverbs with the ZDSP, but the problem is it just takes up like every ounce of room in your case, and that's definitely an issue. So let's finish this weirdness slice here. Patch in 2 more envelopes. And then we'll do the same kind of thing. We'll run each output of the chainsaw into a different filter. Here. Guy. That guy. They're both getting the same signal, they're just differently enveloped. Ah, that's funny. do a quick recap. I pulled a bunch of stuff and moved it around, and I basically, long story short, I yanked the muck slicer. I'm going to put that in the small case. I'm also going to pull the Metropolis sequencer out of my small case. It just doesn't really fit the workflow. That thing is turning into a nice, happy little generative thing, and I think the muck slicer would actually work fairly well in that kind of like environment. And it doesn't really work in here. So I moved the R-bar up in its place. I moved some stuff over, and I threw clouds in here. And that the goal is to try to find a sweet spot, like a gigantic, titanic, clear reverb. This is not so clear. That's the problem. This is like very, it's very shh. All right, man, take it easy. Yeah, there's a lot of like white noise added in, and part of that is due to the atmosphere controls on Aurora. So now, sloths should be changing the harmonies. There, it goes to a G. It is synchronized, but there's triplets in there. So there's a dotted 16th, a 16th note, a quarter note triplet, and an 8th note trigger getting sent to not only the envelopes that are controlling the filters, but also to the arpeggiator. So each channel is kind of, this is all being run off of the jack expander from the Vector. So every single thing in here, so there's 8 separate trigger outs or ins. They can be either one. They can be outs or ins, and you can specify what they do in either one, which is super, super cool. So, like, I could go in and I could change the trigger into, like, whole notes, every whole notes. I could do a reset. It can accept reset signals or like, I think clock signals for each trigger can be a different part. So you can send different reset signals for each of the 8 parts that the Vector will put out, which is kind of insane. I think that jack expander, I'm just getting used to it. It's only been in my box here for like a week or so, a couple weeks. And I think I'm going to start kind of realizing that was a good idea. Even though that means that the Vector takes up like a huge amount of space in this case. But that's life. Yeah. So, anyways, reconfiguring. Again, I just really want a clear, crystal clear Titanic reverb for nice ambient stuff. And This is... Throw a little delay on everything now. It'll just be a chaotic mush. Yeah, it's really more of a testing bed. I wanted to test a few things at the same time. I wanted to test the Weston oscillator. I wanted to like fart around with that for a second and use some FM and see how that sounded. And that sounds pretty good. So again, this is a test bed. Okay. So I'm gonna reset this and come back to it and probably try something else. And I do wanna screw around with the I was saying that Weston 2v2. And I'm seriously considering getting his dual filter module too. Not for this system though. Small. If I continually use my small system as a dumping ground for stuff that I don't like in my big system, eventually everything in there is going to be something I don't like. Which, that seems like a bad idea. Like, here, play with this piece of crap. Thanks. No, I don't want it. So, that's kind of the plan. You know, I just need to pull the trigger, but I also want to buy a positronic recursion studio. It's going to be a lot. So. And then you're like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? Positronic what? It's the positronic recursion studio. It's a video synth, basically. It's a standalone video synth unit that actually hooks up to pretty much anything. I mean, thing's got Ethernet, it's got USB, it's got USB for camera inputs, so you can like put like class compliant cameras or MIDI interfaces. So you can use kind of like standard MIDI or like DMX controls to control it. Just pretty wild. And it, puts out a nice crystal happy digital HDMI picture. Just like cool visuals. So imagine the visuals that I do at home with like Milk Drop and stuff. Similar to that, to be honest. Okay. All y'all freaking out, okay? You're freaking out up here. Stop freaking out. And we're going to take you out of arpeggio mode. Right? What do we do for that? That's what we do. That for all of these. All right. Okay. I want to do something with the Weston. I just want to experiment. This is purely an experimental stream. Just trying things out, kind of more of a practice session than anything else. So, if I don't build some giant mega thing, some 8-voice monstrosity, that's why. We'll throw this guy an envelope just to make it safe and nice and happy. Okay. Now, that guy outputting to... Let's just use the man. It's right there. It's nice and close. We'll throw him in there. Boom. And right now, because I ain't got more cord. Boom. change this around a little bit too. I think I have enough cord to actually reach. Yes, I do. So that's just clouds. And that's really nice. Freeze it. Okay, that's all well and good. That's nifty. I must choke the cam. Curse you, camera. You know what I need to do is fucking bring my mirrorless camera here. Stop using webcams and throw a webcam at home. Because I feel like having a nice, happy, super clear picture, like right here, would be kind of cool. I also don't like this position, and you can't really see it from here. There's my dumb camera position. It's on a tripod. It's behind my face. And it's kind of balanced there, which is why if I move this, like the whole dang thing starts shaking and like, oh crap. It's just a bad situation. And part of it's because it's directly against a wall. And I'm like, what the damn it? There's no solution for this. There's got to be something, but there really isn't. You know, something that would just, like, clamp on. And, I don't know. I'm just looking around for something that I don't have to just hook up with duct tape or some shit. Like, I don't want some horrible, stupid solution to where So this is going to have to, unfortunately, do. Oh, well. Alas. Yeah, well, that's this one right here. This is actually on a little desktop microphone stand. And it works really nice, actually. I like that. It's a little kick drum stand with an attachable tripod base on a gooseneck, and that works really well for just random like here. Wah! Now let's show the roads. Now let's show a blank wall. Yeah, the picture's okay. I don't know. There's something with this camera up here. Something kind of, I don't know. Just doesn't look as good as I thought. It's kind of airy and sort of, and maybe it's the LED lighting and it's kind of washing out this top part. I just wish I had a little bit better. See, like if you look at the chainsaw here, this thing, it kind of looks a little bit blurry. Oh, yeah, I was going to say I haven't seen you before, but welcome. So I'm just figuring it out, you know? I'm making it up as I go along. Can I cut it off? Actually, let's. So I'm wondering if that's a better look. See, it is a little bit more crisp. I'm gonna have to play with some settings on my camera because if maybe I've got like low light on and then that little part up here that's a little bit washed out because of the LEDs, like it blows out the low light part of it. But right now I can hardly see the top row, so that's not good. Yeah. Yeah, I got to be able to see it though. Es un problema. You cannot see your thing. It's too bad. Okay. So I wanted to play with FM. Okay, so prepare for annoying sequence for a little while. So sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Alright, so you could FM just a single oscillator, right? You can just have an FM input and just be like, here, have a triangle wave. Splat. Oh, that's friggin' cool. Now, the nice thing is, then, you could... Does this reach? I think it'll reach. Oh, God. Oh, that's nasty. Then you can put sync on. It's got hard and soft sync. Dude, that's cool as hell. So this Weston oscillator, this 2V2 dual oscillator, it's just two oscillators. That's all it is. But there is FM on each channel. There's soft and hard sync. It's a switchable LFO, so you can completely change the tuning range. Coarse and fine tuners. The knobs feel really, really good. It's got sine, triangle, saw, pulse wave, and then it has a sub out, which is super cool. I love having a nice, happy sub out. So then we can go. Oh. Okay, give me a C. Yeah, and then each one has FM, so you could cross-patch, because you certainly have enough outputs, or you can just run it. I'm just giving it a flat C, I think a middle C frequency or something from this VCO. So, make sure that is. Yeah. So I'm just running the triangle out from this .VCO into the FM in. But it also has an envelope in, which I believe is a VCA controlling the amount that it's letting in. So now the envelope is controlling the filter and the FM, like levels or limits or whatever. Green voice. Go to the other one. Okay, I'm going to throw a few outputs into, well, no, just two. Just a sub and a triangle. No, let's go the sub and the pulse. And then we shall study the pulse. And then, let's see, we can just take the sum out from those. The quad VCA is basically like a little summing mixer hidden in a VCA. Yeah. You notice I don't have any noise engineering stuff in here. I have a, what do I have? I have a Rosie, I have a Tempe. The Rosie is mothballed somewhere in a box. And the Tempe is in my small case. I don't... Or not noise engineering, make noise. I don't have any make noise modules. I have noise engineering, but not very much. I don't like the layout. I don't like the look of them. It just looks confusing. And they're all like artsy and like cool. That's like... I just don't get it. Okay, this is all Turing machine here, so... let's throw an envelope at it. From the pulse out. Give it a quadrax guy. Oh no, we're out of green cables. Oh no, we must use a super long one for no reason. Oh no. Actually, okay. Won't be in my way. I know, man, and everybody talks about the Basimilus as like the best thing ever, and I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't even watch demos of it. Because I just don't want to bother. Like, there's so many cool things out there. Like, why get the same thing as everybody else? Even though I have a marbles and a clouds and, you know, whatever. Grumble. So, yeah, I don't know. I know some people plot out every single aspect of their modular from the ground up. They plan everything. I don't do that. I buy shit. I play with shit. If it doesn't work, it gets mothballed, or I sell it, or it goes into my other case. And it's kind of been the way of things. Yeah, their labeling is super confusing. And all the arrows and stuff going all over. Back when I was a youngin' and I was doing math homework, I used to put these weird boxes around all of my problems and stuff. And I always got yelled at for that. And I'm like, I'm organizing it. It makes it look easier to me. Like, leave me alone. Goddamn fascists. Okay, but what's the PWM doing here? There we go. So we'll just give this guy a happy, simple throw a thing into the pulse width. Might as well make it bipolar too. Yeah, that is the black hole DSP is doing my delay. I am still trying to settle on a good reverb, and that's kind of part of what today is about. I put clouds in here with the hopes that I could like chain it with the Aurora. I have the tip top that guy, ZDSP. I had it in there, and I mean, god damn it, the thing is so freaking huge. It's way too big for what it does. And unfortunately, it really is based on old tech. Like, I think they could remake that module, exactly the same functionality, and probably, like, literally 1/3 the size that it is right now. I mean, this thing is it 20 HP? You know, it's gigantic. And, like, shit, man. Just processors have come so far. Like, you've got, what is it? There's something that I have in here that has, like, a quad cortex chip in it that's, like, stupidly fast. Is it the Bard Quartet? Or no, maybe, I don't know. It doesn't matter. Unimportant. Anyways, like, the technology has gotten so far. It's the R-Bar. That's what it is. Like, the technology has gotten so far, you could easily, miniaturize what's going on in there. And, I mean, the front panel layout, it does have a lot of space, Oh, yeah, the Strymon and the Magneto, like, those things, I can't even... I can't even address that, because they're even bigger. So it's like, where? You're talking massive sacrifices just to get one of those in the rack. Like, I would have to ditch, in terms of, like, effects, I would probably have to ditch a couple of things here just to get one of those. And I'm just not ready to do that. So then my brain was like, well, the Aurora sounds like it could be a really, really cool, ginormous reverb. But it kind of isn't. It is super cool. Also, they have a delay coming out called the Nautilus that it looks really, really too. So, but then this looked... Yeah, and I've heard a couple of stories. A lot of people that are super duper happy with the FX8, and then there's a lot of people that are like not happy. And I don't know. You can also get, thanks to another friend of the channel, Nick, talked to me about. They make a riser card for the Black Hole DSP2 and the Pico DSP that Erica Synths makes, and and guess what? It takes the little cards for the different effects parameters and stuff from the tip top things. So you could put these guys in there and then run those programs. Now, unfortunately, it's stuck to the back of the unit. So if you wanted to, like, replace the card, you have to pull the whole thing out. But, that being said, the Halls of Valhalla card for the Tip Top ZDSP is friggin' great. It's amazing. And if I could latch that onto there, then this would become my go-to, reverb. And then I would have more room for, like, delays and stuff. And FX8, I mean, delays, yeah, it does look like a little bit of work. And I mean, I spent years soldering. Like, literally, it was like my job. I had a factory job making electronic sub-assemblies and stuff like that. Right out of college, couldn't find well, whatever. So I'm confident in my ability to solder, but it still makes me nervous because you're like you're cutting traces and you're soldering a thing on, and it's like, this was expensive. So, yeah, I don't know. I kind of think delays are delays are delays. Like, yeah, you can get some bells and whistles, but for the most part, a delay is a delay. I like the filter delay in this one too. Is it just me, or is that out of tune? Yeah, exactly. Well, and then here's the other big concept. Like Omri Cohen talks about it a lot with his VCV rack stuff, but he doesn't want to have send effects. He wants to use like different delays or reverbs for each voice. Fucking hell, man. Like, I can kind of start doing that. I have a little 2 HP reverb in here, which I do like using on like drum voices and stuff, just as like a little sweetener. And now I have clouds, and now I have Aurora, and now I have the black hole, and like, damn it, it's kind of getting to be a bit much. I wonder if the FX8 would fit in this spot. This is 4 HP, and I can conserve another 2. I could throw the 2 HP reverb up a slot, stick it right in here. So it could hold 6 HP. Is the FX8 6 HP? The basic, ultra basic FX8? I'll bet it's like, it's either 4 or 6. It's pretty friggin' small. Like the first one. Low. I got some statistics. Maybe can I? Where are my stats, yo? I guess I gotta go to modular grid. That's weird. 4 HP. Ha. So that's tempting. That could become like the delay. Cram it in here. And then I just have reverbs to play with. Lots of reverbs everywhere. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm right now wondering why one of these signals is so much hotter than the other. That's probably why, because it's going through the Aurora. Let's reverse it. And then it just suddenly does nothing. What? What's happening? Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, I keep thinking about separating my mixing from my actual case and getting like a small pod case or something like that just for the mixer. And I noticed Red Means Recording, Jeremy there, he put out a new album and it's all modular stuff. And he talks about how that's what he has. He has a little pod case set up with like a couple of mixer modules in there. And that's how he runs like separate stems to his interface for different voices and stuff. And I'm like, that's not a horrible idea. But then where do I put it? And I'm like, fuck. These are the choices. Turn this into a low drone. And then throw some clouds on top of it. This is clouds with the Parasite firmware. Just using the reverb program, whichever it is. I forget what it's called. But it's pretty great. Meanwhile, this freak is over here doing freaky things. Far more entertaining. Something a little bit more rhythmic. Half note, ramp down. Okay, that's cool as hell. This actually would be a good candidate for the 2 HP verb, to be honest. Like, just giving it a little bit of, like, room space kind of a sound. Why you no make noise? Why you no make noise now? I just put in, I did thing. Why you no make... Hello? Like, what the fuck? Hello? Oh, there it is. Like, what the heck? Just a little touch. Oh, Jesus. That's why I'm not getting any level. Because I'm an idiot. I turn the VCAs up. Noob mistake. this is, again, this is just clouds. And it's pretty good. But, you know, hey, I'm looking for a supermassive in my rack. All right, I'm going to take off for today. Thanks for joining me, especially all y'all newcomers. Cool, good to see you. I'll be back definitely Friday. I like to do a Friday night stream, a couple hours here. So, oh, wow, hour and 41. That's a lot longer than I thought. So, cool.